Okay, so Toby here. So this is the fourth lesson, and we've learnt how to set up our workspace. We kind of know what's where, and we know that we've got an infinite drawing area. So now the time comes to learn how to use the tools, and we're just going to start with just one tool, which is the line tool. So that's the line tool, which is the pencil there. But actually we don't do that. We don't tend to click on the tools if they have a shortcut assigned to them. Because when you're working a lot, you're going to want to use shortcuts. So if you want to pick up the line tool, you'll notice at the moment the selection tool is selected. I just press the letter L on the keyboard. And you'll notice that the line tool immediately got selected. If I press the space bar, it goes back to the select tool being selected. Okay, so we can switch between them by pressing L for the line tool and T for, sorry, not T, space bar for the select tool. As you can see, T selects the tape measure. So, okay, so we're going to draw our first line in SketchUp. Now, where you start doesn't really matter too much, but you want to keep fairly close to the origin. I wouldn't start on one of these guidelines, just near them. Because if you draw on the line, it can be quite hard to see your line. So I'm going to click about here. And the way we do it is not to click and drag and drop a line. That's not what we do. What we do is we click once. Okay, it looks like nothing's happened until I start moving the mouse. And it's now got a line attached to the pointer. And you'll notice that when I move to the left-right side, if I'm going exactly left-right, that's called being on axis, and you can see that the line is red. If I'm going exactly away from me, the line turns green. And if I'm going up and down, the line goes blue. All right, so it's quite important, well, it's very important that we know whether we're drawing on axis or not. And usually we should try to draw on axis if we can. It makes life a lot easier. So what we do is we start moving. So I haven't clicked anything else yet. I just did that one click where I start, and I start moving the mouse away in the direction that I want to draw. And then we don't click. What we do is we look at the bottom right corner of the screen, which shows us the length of the line, and you'll notice it changing as I move the mouse. But we don't move it to a specific distance. We type in the distance that we want that line to be. So I'm going to draw a line that is 2 meters long. That's 2,000 millimeters because my units are in millimeters. And when I press the Enter key on the keyboard, that completes the line. Now, because I'm using the draw tool, if I move the mouse again, that I'm still drawing. Okay, the line, this thread is still attached to say where's the next point you want to draw. So I can now move in this direction, the red axis, and I'm going to type 2000 again and enter. And that draws my second line. And now when I move the mouse without clicking anything, this is still attached. Now notice that this looks like it's not on the parallel to the green line. That's because of perspective. And an important thing to understand at this point is we talked about panning and zooming. You can do this while you're drawing. So I can, if I want to draw specifically to this point to draw a triangle, I can zoom in to make sure I'm going exactly to that point, and then I would click to finish it. If I want to pan and rotate, I just press the middle mouse button down and I can move the model around. I'm still haven't clicked anywhere to draw the line. And only when I know where I want to click, so I could type in 2000 to draw this line to this point. Or you can see that SketchUp's actually trying to help me. When I'm close to the point, it says, do you want to draw it to the same length as that line over there on this green axis? I could click there. But the other thing which is very important to understand when you're drawing lines in SketchUp is how to use inferencing and locking inferencing. So inferencing means that I want to draw this line exactly to the same length as something elsewhere in the model. So what I can do is, while I'm on this green line, I will hold down the Shift key, and you'll notice now that wherever I go with my mouse, I'm locked onto the green axis. What that allows me to do is to go and point at something else, another point on my drawing, and click there. And it won't draw the line, so when I click, it doesn't draw the line to where I clicked. It draws it, because it was locked, it draws it to exactly the same length as that point, but locked onto that green axis. And now to finish off, I can just go to this point and click to complete my square. When you complete 3 or more points on exactly the same level, so you know they don't go up or down, these 3 points, they're completely flat, you will get a surface. And when I just press the space bar there to get the select key so I can select something, when I click on a surface, you'll see that it gets these dotted lines. That's how you know you've got a surface and that you drew your lines completely flat. I'll talk more about surfaces and how we create them in a next video, but this is the fundamental of how to use the line tool, how to draw in SketchUp, and it's crucial to understand this point of you click, you draw on an axis, you type in a distance, you don't drag, right? So right now I'm moving my mouse, but I'm not pressing any buttons, and then I type in a distance, this time 1000 meters, millimeters, and enter, and it'll draw that. So I'm just going to draw one more box just to show the principle again. Type 1000, and I'm going to go over here, hold down the Shift key to lock it on this red axis this time and point to here. And now I can just close it up to here. I could, if I want to, look, because it's on the same axis, I can just lock the green if I want to and click there, and I'll get another surface. While you're drawing, so let's say I'm drawing another line over here, and I've got this thread attached, and I want to draw from somewhere else now, the escape key lets go of the thread, and then I can start drawing from somewhere else. And again, escape key will let me go to here and draw again. Okay, so the escape key kind of detaches the thread, if you like, and lets you start drawing from another point. I think that's probably enough for now on this tutorial. The key thing about click, then do something, type in a measurement, click, applies to most of the tools which we'll be talking to on the toolbar. So if I'm doing a circle as an example, I will choose where I want to start, click, not drag, start moving the mouse, type in the radius of the circle, 800, and enter. Okay, so that is the fundamental principle of how to use the line tool and any other tool on, pretty much any other tool on the SketchUp toolkit.